I really don't, love. Honestly, I have to be honest with you.
Yeah, but I mean, I understand. I totally understand, and I agree that some people don't like it, but a lot of people laugh at it. And
welcome to WatchMojo UK, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 times talk show hosts made celebrities uncomfortable.
We actually all did a pole dance that night, the four of us, and only mine got shown. And
yes, but you the only one took your clothes off.
Before we begin, we publish new content every day, so be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. For this list, we're going to be looking at the Cringe Fest sit-down talk show segments that interviewee and probably interviewer would rather co-sign to the cutting room floor. Are our picks classic bants or massive pants? Sound off in the comments. Number 10, Alex Zane gets under Avril Lavigne's skin. Pop World. With all due respect to the presenter and interviewer Alex Zane, he is no Zach Galifianakis. His attempt to produce awkward and cringy moments within his pop world aren't anywhere near Between Two Ferns-esque funny.
If you ever did bring out a perfume, what would it smell of?
Probably one of my favorite flowers or something like that. I don't know. I haven't thought about it.
By this point in the T4 show's run, Zane's predecessor, Simon Amstel, had already reduced Britney Spears to tears and threw the Kooks into self-exile with his dry hosting style.
Now, he proposed to you in Venice. That must have been nice, although I've heard it smells of eggs. Did that not ruin the romance at all?
Zane's attempts in replicating that humour included asking Lavigne if Venice smelled like eggs when she was proposed to there, and if she could cry tears of milk as a party trick.
Can you knife throw? Nope. Juggle cats? Nope.
A very awkward Lavigne may not have got Zane's surrealism, or more likely did, and found it as funny as everyone else. Number 9, Peter Andre dodges Katie Price question. Good morning, Britain. It's really down to the full interviewing team at GMB for making Peter Andre look as uncomfortable as he does here.
See, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that.
During his interview, an earlier segment involving the mysterious girl singer's ex-wife, Katie Don't Call Me Jordan Price, was played, showcasing her complaining over his refusal to let their kids, which they share custody of, into the limelight.
How do you respond to the allegation?
Piers, you should know me by now that I don't talk about these things publicly.
As Andre is quick to retort, he keeps them out of public eye for legal reasons, thus avoiding an uncomfortable interview from sweating it out even more. The only thing that would have made it more awkward is if they revealed how much people actually cared.
It's a legal issue, so it should never be talked about.
Number 8, Charlotte Crosby somehow incurs Lorraine's awkward side. Lorraine! Okay, we're kind of flipping the script on this one, as it's hard to tell who is the more uncomfortable of the two here, the interviewer or the interviewee. Surprisingly, it's also a moment that took place on veteran talk show host Lorraine Kelly's self-titled program, proving that the awkward turtle can come for us all. In this instance, the Scottish Inquisitor is interviewing Geordie Shore alumni Charlotte Crosby about her autobiography, Me, Me, Me.
Why not? Why are you not
because
embarrassed?
it's so normal now.
No, it's not.
It is.
No, it really isn't.
It doesn't take long before the conversation turns to an intervention over Crosby's bedwetting and her unwavering attitude towards how normal it is.
You're not worried about that?
No.
No? Okay, well, look, that's fine. If you're happy, that's absolutely fine.
I'm worries about things.
Lorraine does manage to steer everything back to lifestyle, but there was still a wee bit of cringe left over.
But you can get help. There is help out there.
But what would the help be?
Number 7, Jonathan Ross makes an awkward proposition. Friday Night with Jonathan Ross. We have to give Gwyneth Paltrow some serious props here, because her poker face is sublime. Perhaps a little too good, because her ability to play off Jonathan Ross's rather untoward comments perhaps spurred him on to do it more.
If you want to have sex, I'll phone my wife. If she gave me permission, I would you yesterday.
Paltrow, who was married to Chris Martin at the time, was on Wassie's show to promote 2008's Iron Man. Was the MCU's first really that long ago? During the course, Ross asks if he can bed the actress if he gets his wife's permission, and the interview continues to be laden with entendre and seemingly accidental innuendo.
Because you know what? You are so nicely. And clearly, you're gagging for it.
Paltrow wasn't fussed, but the BBC Trust pulled the late night show host to task over the interview.
Hang on. Just...
Number 6, Jonathan Ross makes an awkward proposition again. Friday night with Jonathan Ross.
Can I call you D to the AVE?
We have to give David Cameron some serious props here, although that's not a phrase you may find being said very often. The former Prime Minister was the then soon-to-be PM when he was invited to join Ross's show on a Friday night. The interview itself went rather smoothly, as interviews with prominent politicians can be rather divisive.
Margaret Thatcher? In a carnal fashion. As indeed we all did back then.
However, Wassey drew the ire of Tory party members when he asked Cameron if he had ever, well, had impure thoughts of a former party leader and Iron Lady Baroness Margaret Thatcher.
They voted for these things.
But did you or did you not ever have a wank thinking of Thatcher?
Clearly embarrassed, David Cameron took the line as a joke and quickly pressed on before running for Prime Minister and initiating Brexit. So probably not a career highlight then. Number 5, Graham's question sends Cara's awkwardness miles high. Comic relief. If you were to watch any of Graham Norton's earlier material, you'd know that he's no stranger to dancing the line between too far and not enough.
Having sex on a plane.
As you have, clearly.
Though there is no one in the world who could ever say a bad word about the presenter, we're pretty sure Cara Delevingne certainly thought a few during this special broadcast of The Graham Norton Show during Comic Relief 2017.
Yeah, it was... I don't even know how to start the story.
When asked about her experiences of joining the Mile High Club, and if you don't know what that is, then you'll have to ask someone else, poor Cara had to remind Graham that her dad was in the audience.
But Cara, you were doing it, and then a man was
My
watching
father
you.
is here, by the way. Sorry, Dad.
Number 4, the one with the ex's baby. Good morning, Britain.
Very good morning to you. Bonjour.
Good morning.
Ça va?
Yes, thank you.
Oh, okay.
Good.
It's understandable if you thought that Jean-Bernard Fernandez Versini, a man with double barrels in his name, was an actor and not a restaurateur. That is, of course, if you knew who he was in the first place. JB didn't so much as find fame, but have it thrown at him thanks to his 2014 hot-footed marriage to Cheryl Tweedy / Cole / Fernandez Versini / just Cheryl. The couple broke up in 2016, but for some reason GMB's Richard, shock celeb interviewer, Arnold, felt the need to ask JB his thoughts on Cheryl's new baby with Liam Payne during an interview at the Cannes Film Festival the following year.
Do you have a message for Cheryl about her baby?
Well, you know what? It's the 70th Film Festival. We might as well focus on this film festival and making it the best possible. First time with my venture here.
Yeah.
And
JB's straight face may not say much, but his lack of congratulations was telling.
Thank you very much for joining us.
My pleasure.
at breakfast.
It's a pleasure.
Number 3, whammed by a difficult question. Good morning, Britain.
Like talking about the Wham days.
I don't mind talking about them. It's not pertinent.
To many, Andrew Ridgeley is not a household name, but put him together with the late great pop star George Michael and wham! You get Wham! The singer who passed away on Christmas Day 2016 considered bandmate Andrew Ridgeley to be a confidant in their days together singing about Tropicana clubs and Christmas is Last. So it stands to reason that Ridgeley wouldn't be overly impressed when constantly pressed for details on his friend by repeat awkward interview offender Piers Morgan.
Obviously, an extraordinarily big moment it must have been for you as well. How have you and all his friends dealt with the period since he's died?
I would imagine much like anyone else does.
Ridgeley does play it cool, but you can see his frustration at being sideswiped by the line of questioning. He then tweeted a thanks to everyone but Morgan for the interview, which the latter didn't take kindly to. Piers Morgan offended?
You really don't like talking about the past, right?
Well, I wasn't sure that was why I was here today, to be honest with you.
Shocking, we know. Number 2, off to a terrible start, Eamon Holmes. This morning.
What is the surprise to you now that you're out as to how you're perceived?
Oh, Eamon Holmes, just what were you thinking? For a host who has a decades-long career, it seems like a bit of a rookie mistake to open an interview by reportedly telling a guest, "I didn't recognize you with your clothes on or not on a pole." The comment was directed to CBB contestant and former Playboy model Chloe Khan. What followed was a, perhaps not for morning TV conversation about Khan's intimate love life in the Big Brother house.
What's the truth
You were in
of
that toilet and you weren't having a wee.
It was never going to go well for Holmes, who viewers lambasted over the judgmental behaviour, and ITV quickly 86'd the interview's opening moments.
So you must have had terrible constipation in that
No,
toilet.
absolutely
It
not,
was
but
so
I mean,
painful with groans.
Number 1, that Helen Mirren interview, Parkinson. Though it's hard to watch this interview now without considering the body of work that both participants have built up, there's no denying that the 1975 interview between Michael Parkinson and Helen Mirren is infamous for all the right reasons.
But do you find, in fact, that this, what could be best described as your equipment, in fact, hinders you, perhaps, in that pursuit?
I'd like you to explain what you mean by my equipment.
From the introduction, which paints a less than stellar picture of the actress, to the questions regarding her physical attributes being a hindrance or a help, it wasn't long before the conversation was labelled as sexist.
Let's talk about nudity, not clothes. Let's talk about the fact that you, in fact, have taken your clothes off on screen.
There is an argument that Parkinson was trying to cut through the perception that people had of the classically trained performer, but hadn't gone about it the right way. Though there's no denying Helen Mirren certainly exemplifies elegance and intelligence here.
Have you ever you must have obviously considered that point and wondered why perhaps it is?
What?
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from WatchMojo UK and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.